Hi all, welcome to a collective reading. I'm Jana. I'm probably going to stop introducing myself soon. But for those of you who don't know me, I'm an astrologer, a tarot reader, an Akashic Records reader, and some other stuff. I'm also a medium, and that's about it for now. I'll say more later. But today I want to jump into our collective reading. I post these a few times a week, and they're just meant to be kind of some grounding, clarifying support for those of you who come across this and who resonate with my style or just need a particular message in a particular moment. So they're kind of like episodic in that you don't need to watch prior readings. Wherever you happen to jump in is the right place, but at times I might reference past readings, or we might kind of pick up on a thread or refer back to a thread from prior readings. So feel free to dig around in the collective readings playlist on my channel if you want to. So I always roll the astro dice at the start of readings to tune into the theme that we're focusing on for the day. And today I got the 11th house, Uranus, and Gemini, which is such an interesting combo. And I think we have some very unique situations going on for different people here. So let me speak to a few of those. So for one, the 11th house commonly is known as the house of hopes and dreams, which can feel really vague for those of you who are just beginning to study astrology. But the deeper you get, you kind of begin to understand that this is the place that births so much of our reality. It's that what we dream, what we hope for, what we vision becomes the inspiration for the world that we create. And it's often the place where we kind of reach for the stars. And it's also the place where we find friendship and where we find community. And 11th house communities are often kind of built around a shared vision or around shared values. And so it's interesting because with Uranus here, there's something that we're revolutionizing, or there's something that's being revolutionized in our lives, whether or not we're initiating that. And I saw 222 the second that I said that. And with Gemini, it feels like it's connected to communication, connected to the mind, the way we think, the way we speak, the way we write, and the way we just communicate and hear and process what's said to us. And so I posted something on Instagram this morning about getting your news from alternative news sources instead of major mainstream media outlets like the New York Times and Fox, God forbid, and these huge corporations that control a lot of what we consume. And the importance of finding alternative news sources like Democracy Now!, like the People's CDC for pandy-wandy news, following reliable and free thinkers who help you to see things outside of the realm of sort of the capitalist conditioning and BS programming that we receive all the time. And so I think for a lot of you, that's something that's happening right now, is that you might be kind of attracted to or gravitating toward alternatives, and you might be kind of opening up to new perspectives in a way. And so this is feeling vague, so let me speak to another circumstance and then we'll get into the tarot. I think alternatively, you might be kind of connecting with people who you might consider oddballs, or people you're kind of making alliances or, becoming friends with or forming connections with people who kind of maybe help to expand your mind in a way. And there might be some discomfort there because Uranus isn't exactly a chill planet. Uranus is extremely disruptive. Uranus, can rip everything out from under you in a moment. It's kind of an earthquake, or a lightning storm, or like something that's just, it's very visceral and intense and fast. And so there could be some kind of sharp changes that you're feeling in your world. And I feel like it's partially, again, related to the mind, partially related to friendship, to community, to maybe the way that you vision and kind of like dream about your own future or the future of the world, since the 11th house is connected to kind of the collective as opposed to the individual. So it's more about what we dream up together than what we dream up personally. So that brings me into the tarot. Really interesting. We have 3 cards. All of them came out reversed. First, we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. And I'm using the Star Spinner Tarot today. I just got this recently and I really love it. So we have the Star Spinner Tarot, Knight of Wands reversed, the 10 of Swords reversed, and then Temperance also reversed. And so this is the first major arcana that we're seeing. Temperance is a Sag card, for what it's worth. The Knight of Wands I typically associate with fixed fire, so that would be Leo, but it could also be Aries or Sagittarius. The 10 of Swords, I am totally spacing on what sign this is connected to, but it's an air card, so Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And so we have Gemini coming up again here. And with the Knight of Wands reverse, the 10 of Swords reverse, Temperance reverse, the feeling I'm getting is that something related to our spirit and our minds feels like it's recently collapsed. And I get the sense that for most of us, we're sort of trying to recover or recuperate from some type of ending that we experienced, or like some type of sudden shift. Again, Swords and Wands are both fast. They're the fastest of the 4 suits. And, you know, you think air and fire are kind of fast by nature and very mobile. And so it feels like something related to like our spirit, our creative drive, our livelihood, and our vitality, and then also our minds and the way that we communicate and process and experience the world through our mind has really changed. And Temperance feels like we're out of balance. We're having trouble kind of like re-accessing our footing, finding our footing again. And that may have happened from a recent conversation, Gemini. Maybe there's something that really kind of shook us awake, or maybe we had to confront someone else because they were kind of in a space of denial, or maybe we were in denial, and there was some unwillingness to kind of accept an ending that had occurred. Probably one that occurred a while ago, but maybe we're just kind of recognizing like, damn, this is still really kind of hovering in my orb. And this could be related to a Knight of Wands person. Again, that would be the fire signs. Someone who maybe is a bit reckless, someone who could be kind of just like uncaring, just kind of selfish a lot of the time. Someone who like really does not prioritize the well-being of other people. And with the 10 of Swords, this could have come to a painful ending, and it feels like we're having trouble kind of pulling those swords out of our backs and re-engaging with life. And Temperance in reverse sees us really like struggling to kind of weigh our options and find our footing. And as I'm channeling this, I'm feeling really confused. It's usually fairly easy for me to kind of grab hold of the string, the narrative string, and like understand what's going on, but I'm having trouble accessing it today. And so I don't know if this is even coming across clearly. Maybe it's not, or maybe it's just not really meant to be understood by me, because I'm just here to kind of transmit the message. But let's get a little bit more insight from the tarot, because this feels so strange. So now we have the 4 of Swords coming out in the upright, which tells me that we are, it feels like, in a place of recovery. And then we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. So recovery, maybe we've sort of like flown too close to the sun, and maybe we were getting a little bit overly confident. The Knight of Wands reverse could be us. Maybe we were a little bit cocky, we were a little bit overconfident, and then we were sort of like, again, like there's some level of being in denial or not recognizing the truth and having to kind of be humbled. And I have the Hermit coming out here, and I was just about to say that this can be a common experience during Virgo season, and we're just at the tail end of Virgo season as I'm recording this on September 19th. Libra season starts in just a few days, and in the Northern Hemisphere, it's about to be fall equinox that brings us into the new season. So I think for some of you, you've kind of gone into a phase maybe of retreat after, again, like maybe getting to know your ego better and seeing the ways that you were behaving from your ego instead of necessarily behaving from your soul or your higher self. And look, we're humans. We do that all the time. But there's something of needing to be checked, needing to kind of check in with ourselves and potentially offer ourselves compassion for the ways that we're just human beings who make mistakes. And if it's kind of the reverse and you've had a conflict or a run-in with someone else who was kind of behaving in this really egoic way and they needed to be checked and maybe you were the person who kind of provided a reality check for them, that can be painful too. Especially if they react, defensively, especially if we have to be the bearer of bad news, or we have to kind of like give the truth to someone who doesn't want to see the truth. That can be really difficult. So I'm going to keep this short. We're going to do like one more card here. So we have the Page of Wands upright. So the Page of Wands kind of brings us into a youthful spirit. The pages are often considered children or youthful characters in the tarot. We go from the page to the knight to the queen to the king, and that's kind of the like hierarchy of growth and development. And with the Page of Wands, we're just at the beginning of something. We're just beginning to maybe learn about the spirit or learn about the ego. And so it could be that for a lot of you, you've kind of just picked up a new practice even, and you're sort of being humbled by all that you don't know. Or you've just begun to explore some type of creative practice or something. Maybe it's related to community. Maybe it's related to like activism is also found in the 11th house, or related to, the groups that you spend time around. And you're kind of like recognizing how far this journey or how long this journey might be. And that's a really lovely place to be, because when we realize how much we don't know, we actually really deepen in our wisdom. The wisest people are keenly aware of everything that they don't know. And I think that you've kind of had your mind blown in some way. And if you can access enthusiasm and excitement about that, like look at all that there is, look at all of this stuff that I have yet to discover, yet to learn, yet to explore in this world, I think that perspective is really going to aid you. Okay, that's all I got today. Please drop me a comment if you can add some context for what's going on here. I'm really curious if you're willing to share. And if this was valuable, please do like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I offer personal readings, and you can find the link in the description box. And you can find me over on TikTok and Instagram for shorter videos. I post collective readings on TikTok also a few times a week, and it's a different audience, different content. But there's all sorts of cool stuff over there. And subscribe to my newsletter. In my link tree down below, you get 10% off a live reading when you do. All right, take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Bye.